Welcome on in, Desert Eagle 417 with The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
First, I need a name for this run. I need a file name here. So, we can go up to 4 characters. Fastest is 1. We need some name here. Which, that doesn't fit. Smiley face? We got Sue and She. Sue? Where's she? There's she. Which one? Orc? Alright. You know what? Orc, Lonk, Sushi. Sue.
What about Paws?
Paws isn't bad. Alright, I'm seeing a lot of Bork. But, this is a good idea. In honor of our wonderful charity here, we're gonna go for Paws. And, I got 2 more file names here. Inuga Daisuki, you know, I love dogs. Because, who doesn't, right? How can anyone not? Alright, well, I'm ready
Are
to
you
go.
ready?
Wait. Now I am.
Alright, countdown when you're ready.
Alright then. So, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So this one here, Uncle here is reading a letter right now from Princess Zelda, saying that she's trapped in the castle dungeon, and an evil wizard has captured her and put her down there, and we have to go rescue her. Well, our uncle's trying to go rescue her, but he's not very good. So, we gotta go do his job. So at the beginning of the game here, we have some of the most interesting movement tech, which I'm not great at, called pumping. Let's see if I can explain this while doing it. So Link, when he's moving west or north, or when he's facing west or north, I should say, he moves in an alternating pattern of 2 frames and then 1 frame. Whereas moving right or down, or east or south, it's always 1 frame. So what we do is we keep tapping either up or left, or if we're facing up, left and right, if we're facing left, up or down, to try and constantly get the 2 frame movement. So if you see like a little stutter in the movement, that's what that is. But nothing too exciting going on here. So if there are any donation incentives, or sorry, any donations to read, then absolutely.
Well, right now we are still $55 away from the Super Mario World 11 exit no cape bonus run. And we also have another donation coming up later on for Monster Hunter World Tempered Ruiner Narragante that you can donate towards.
Okay, we're doing hundo, so don't grab the speed ring. Otherwise, big no-no.
And why don't you grab that boomerang?
So if we grab that boomerang, there's actually, and I should explain what 100 means here. There's a second boomerang that goes all the way across the screen. And that's the one we need for the 100% category. Well, if we get the blue one now... Sorry, there. If we get the blue one now, the red one takes longer to get. If we wait, we can get the red one straight away. So it's a little bit faster to just forego the boomerang for now. Even though the so-called worse one, better. It has less lag. It doesn't go as far, which turns out to be nicer for a lot of things. But yeah, so the 100% category here means basically full inventory completion, which is all items in the inventory at their peak level. Now, it doesn't mean we have to get everything in between. Like, we're gonna skip the second tier armor, we're gonna skip the first boomerang. Is that all we skip? That's about all we skip.
And do you collect all the heart pieces?
Yep. So we'll get that, all the heart pieces, and we'll get what in later games is extended magic, but in this game it's we call it half magic because a 1/2 appears above the magic bar.
And this one's no major glitches, correct?
Correct. So, what are minor glitches that we're still allowed to do is something called spin speed, which basically allows you to move with the same speed as if you're dashing, but you can change direction, which you can't do while dashing, unfortunately. Another one is called fake flippers, which will allow us to swim without actually having the flippers. Anything else we use? I guess shooting items through blocks. If you shoot like in the first couple frames of the animation, your item will go through the block, which is nice. Got the bad rat pattern. Normally you want that rat to stay further down so you can grab the key and get away faster, but not today. And another one is item dashing, which is where you start a dash and use an item at the same time. And that will allow us to basically start the item animation as we start dashing, and then when we stop dashing, the attack actually happens.
And also, if you have a moment there, Desert Eagle, if you can turn up your mic just a small fraction.
How's that? That turns it up in OBS. I don't know if I can get you up in Discord here.
Sounds like you sound much better. It's for the viewers.
Alright, cool. Just toss some gain on that here.
And is the Japanese language pack on this faster than the English?
Yep. Yeah, so Japanese has less text than English, which is a big part of the reason we run this version. But also, we specifically use the Japanese 1.0 version, because those minor glitches I talked about, you can't do them on the revision. So, definitely need that 1.0. This is the last of the major overworld movement without boots, so just trying to get them out of the way here. Alright. Alright, time for our first dungeon. So, there's nothing really fancy about this dungeon. Just get through it. Pretty much. There's a couple neat tricks that involve spawning enemies in certain places. And so right here, we're gonna take a specific line in here. Kill that one before they even have a chance to spawn. Now normally there would be 4 enemies in that room, but the way we spawn them in, by taking that specific line, one of them spawns outside of the room, and so never shows up. The other one spawns on top of what would be, what is the middle pot in the room, so he can't spawn on top of it, so he also never shows up. It's nice.
Chat, do you guys have any favorite enemies in your Legend of Zelda games?
Question.
Knowing me, I always like the ones that had all the tentacles with it.
I don't really hate tentacles in this. Well, there's these monsters here.
Yes, I like those guys. I don't even know what their names are.
These purple ones are called Popos, I think.
We got some votes for the Dongos, Dark Nuts, and Ocarina.
Those are pretty fun. I've always been a big fan of the Dark Nuts in Wind Waker. They're a lot of fun to fight.
The wall hands in the first one used to terrify some people.
That boss is so dumb.
And bokoblins, Wizrobes.
Gonna meet some Wizrobes a bit later, as well as some Wall Masters who hopefully won't troll me.
We'll have to get some high fives in the chat when we see those wall hands come out.
Oh yeah. Alright.
Gerudos and Skyward Sword.
Oh no, I missed. Things you only do in a marathon run. Actually, I'm gonna need that.
Alright, we're at our first boss here for the dungeon.
I didn't go far enough over. It's all good.
And dungeon completed.
One down.
We have our first medallion. Yeah, don't blink, Dan. You're gonna miss it.
That's what I aim for. Well, this next boss is gonna be one you can blink like 2 or 3 times in.
And if you need that link for the donation, make sure you do !donate in the chat. It'll take you to the Tiltify donation page where you can choose from a large quantity of incentives. We still have Super Mario World 11 Exit No Cape bonus run incentive running, as well as a medieval 2019 Demonette's arm percentage. And you can still vote if you want to try and change Leon's costume in the Resident Evil 2 1998 run coming up.
All of these are great incentives. Let's make sure they all get met here.
So which temple are you heading to now?
We're going to be making our way to Desert Palace, which has one of my least favorite bosses in the game. Not because he's hard or I'm worried about dying or anything, but, well, this split is called Stupid Worms for a reason, for me, because they just jump around a lot, and sometimes they short hop and you can't get hits on them like you want.
Can we toss up all the love emotes in chat for this next boss? Give Desert Eagle some encouragement to get through this. All the hype and love you've got in chat, please.
Yeah, speaking of minor glitches, if you saw, I've been doing some spins and then touching the staircase, and then moving really fast. That's the spin speed I was talking about. That was the wrong item.
And we have a spam of love and encouragement and hype emotes in the chat for you.
Definitely appreciate that.
Now the bottles, do you still have to pick up all of the bottles for the game?
Yep, all 4. We'll be getting the first bottle once we get to the dark one. We'll start picking up bottles. Because they're back up in town and we don't go there for a while.
I always like this dungeon, but I bet for a speedrun it can be a little nerve-wracking.
This dungeon itself's not too here. The next dungeon, Tower of Hera, is a little more nerve-wracking. One, thankfully, is pretty chill, aside from the boss, who doesn't like me. But maybe with all this energy from chat here, we'll get a nice pattern today.
And how did you get into speedrunning this game?
So this game is... I've probably played this more times than just about anything else. A close second being Resident Evil 1. And this is actually the first game I ever tried to speedrun. I timed myself one time. Had no idea what I was doing. Took 3 hours. It was great. But I'd always wanted to do it, and eventually I was like, alright, we just have to sit down and actually learn this. It's been fun.
So is there a lot of RNG in this game, or are most of the enemies or the item locations pretty static?
The item locations are static. Spin speed. Good. The item locations are static. There's quite a bit of RNG. A lot of it doesn't matter. Really, when it matters is if there's a room you need to kill all the enemies in, did they move in a good pattern? For bosses, what kind of pattern are they going to give you? Like, this boss coming up is one of the big ones for that. But mostly the RNG will show up here in a couple of the mini games that we have to do for Hundo, which is how many times do we get to play the digging game?
Oh
and
boy.
how many chests do we have to open before we get our heartbeat? The funny story about that digging game. A couple days ago, I did a practice run, and I would have been a minute and ahead of PB at the end of the game, except I lost 4 minutes to digging game.
Oof. Well, we did get some donations in. Is now a good time to read them?
Sure. Oh, let me focus on this.
Yeah, we'll do it right after this boss.
Alright, cool. Go for it.
Alright, we have a $55 donation from Mr. Goon and Watch that says Marathon Hype! And that one went towards the Super Mario World 11 Exit No Cape bonus run, which has been completed. So, guess you'll be doing that after this, Desert Eagle.
Man, I'm pretty excited for that.
And congratulations on getting the second medallion. And we've got another $5 donation from Chad Thorson that says, loving this run, coming from an incredible runner. The legendary Deagle. Can we get a $5 donation train going for Zelda? Hype!
Thank you guys so much for all the donations and getting both of my incentives, as well as all of them so far. Really excited to see all these runs.
Chat is generous and absolutely killing it with these donations.
There are. So we're coming up here to our second minor glitch. Mentioned the other one, fake flippers. The idea is going to be to basically do 2 things at once. That's what almost all of the glitches in this game are doing 2 actions at once. This one will be jumping into the water and transitioning the screen at the same time.
What? I can't wait to see this.
Oof. Stupid pickles. Get it? Nope.
You think they look like pickles?
Okay. And I don't like pickles. Like, I think they're absolutely disgusting. So, the fact that they're terrible enemies in this game just seems fitting.
Poor pickles. F's in chat for pickles.
Electric pickles. Yeah. The weird thing is, like, pickled vegetables are pretty good, except cucumbers. But is a cucumber a vegetable or a fruit?
It's a vegetable.
Vegetable? Okay. Yeah, so cucumber's like the exception here.
But cucumbers are pickles.
They're not, like, what is it?
They're like the Super Saiyan version of pickles. They're over 9,000 bottled. I always get lost in this cave.
Yeah, it's really easy to do. Thankfully, after doing it a couple 100 times, it kind of just sticks. These guys right here, that guy that I just hit and turned to stone, they're big jerks. If you hit them, they turn to stone, and they love getting in your way. And if you hit them and turn them to stone, and they're in your way, they're just massive time loss. There is a way to kill them, but you need the Quake medallion, which I do not have.
Looks like we have some more donations coming in.
Go for it.
Alright, we've got a $5 donation from Silas Shield saying, you're killing it, really loving Zelda hype! And a $10 donation from Dan Spence94 that says, let's go! Absolutely amazing event so far, can't wait for more. This is going towards the arm-only fight for Medieval 2019 for the hardest boss. Can we give a man a hand? Also, I'm clearly a glutton for punishment. Woo?
What I was hoping to do there is be halfway on these blue pegs when that switch got hit. Because then I could just stand here and do nothing for the next minute or so. But no coffee break for me.
So on these sections where the tiles are flying at you, do they always come in the same pattern? You know, which tile's flying at you?
Yep. Yeah, always exactly the same. Yeah, always the exact same pattern, which is nice. Every time I see these guys go down the hole, I think of the, I don't know how many of you guys remember Plucky Duck?
Toot toot, go down the hole!
Yep, exactly. Actually, so it was, it's the girl who actually says that, I think. I can't remember her name. But, I think it's the girl. But that's exactly what I think every time.
Now I'm never not gonna see that when I'm playing this.
Oh no, I did it too early. All the way down to the beginning.
That's okay, you've got this. It's more time for chat to get in their donations.
Calculated.
That was a calculated drop.
That was on purpose.
Link, go down the hole.
Yep. That is exactly what happened.
And that puts us at $125 away from the Medieval 2019 Demonette's arm percentage incentive.
There we go. That's
nice.
More. There's a fast setup for that, which I am really bad at. But it looks really cool when you get it. One day. One day. Alright, here's everyone's favorite boss, Moldorm.
Ooh.
Lots of people have bad memories of this guy.
Can we get some love in the chat? Again, a calculated bump off. But we need some love and hype emotes in the chat.
I'm really happy that happened.
And hoping that
just hilarious.
Get shoes stuck in place.
Ooh. I got greedy.
Is there a certain number of tile squares that he bumps you off each time you hit him?
Probably. I don't actually know. I just try and stay away from the edge. Stay toward the middle. The good thing about him is wherever his head goes is where the rest of his body's gonna go. So you can sort of use that to know where you should go.
So the positioning of the head helps you with the positioning of the rest of the body.
Yep.
Good job on that.
Well, that was a little sloppy, but
And we got the third medallion.
So yeah, so one trick that you can use, and I usually use it for the last hit there, is if you hold out your sword and you have your back to a ledge, usually he won't knock you off. as long as you don't get hit from the side. So usually I use that for the last hit where he speeds up. Just to play it a bit safe. See if I can get... Nope, not today. No hover today.
So you can completely go over that entire area by doing that trick.
Yep. Yeah, completely get it. We'll try it one more time at the end. But I've been pretty bad at that trick on this 8-bit Do controller. But we got one tile away, which is better than I normally do, so I'm hopeful for the second attempt.
So now we head back to do the castle section, correct? Before we get swapped to the other world, or are you heading back to town for...
We're actually headed to get the Master Sword first.
Master Sword, okay.
Then we'll be headed to the castle. Well, I think I'm going the wrong direction for 100% into the forest? I know.
Do you have to get that mushroom?
Yep, we're gonna get it on the way back though. The
Okay.
reason we get that on the way back is it respawns every time we pick it up until we use it. So we pick it up on the way back just because it's easier to avoid the first time. That way we don't accidentally pick it up twice.
Fair enough. And we have a $33.33 donation from Dr. Maxermine that says, Deeks is one of my best friends and speedrun colleagues in the Twitchosphere. This dude can speed so... Suck it to Moldrum. This is all for the viewers as well as the organizers. Let me get some 3 spam in chat, please, for the Triforce, of course.
Thank you, Max. That fans.
And we also have a $10 donation from your boy Strufen that says, shout out to everyone helping out with the marathon. Already such a blast. Good luck with the rest of the run.
All those 3. So we're coming up to a boss here who is one of the major RNG points in any complete category for the game. Well, almost any, I suppose. Which is Aghanim. So we have to deflect his energy balls back at him. But the problem is he doesn't only throw energy balls, he also throws blue balls at you.
Nobody likes blue balls.
No, blue balls are bad. We don't want them. So, we hope for 0. It can get as bad as 15. But the average tends to be around 3 or 4. None of them cerulean spheres. That's ideal.
And where does the this particular game fall within the Legend of Zelda timeline?
Let's see. This one is in the... I think it's the Fallen Hero? I think that's the name of it.
The Fallen Hero timeline?
I think it's the start of it, if I'm not mistaken. It comes right before... Well, right before Link Between Worlds. Which I think is before the Oracle games and Link's Awakening. Which, the Switch remake is pretty great for Link's Awakening.
I need to get that game still.
Oh, that game's really cool. Got lots of cute animation, too. In addition to being good, it's just In addition to being good, it's just adorable. Alright, chat, we're gonna deal with some beeps for a minute. Sorry. Oh! We're gonna die. Alright.
F's in chat, that's okay. We can restart this castle. There we go. And now we've got a lot of health. So are you more of a... Do you prefer these top-down Legend of Zeldas versus, like, the 3D adventure ones?
Oh, for sure. Definitely like the sort of 2D or 2DS ones quite a bit more.
Chat, what's your opinion? Do you like these top-down 2D ones, or are you into the more 3D ones? Like Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina? Do you know that Ocarina of Time has an Ovaltine hammer?
An Ovaltine hammer?
Yep. I'm just gonna leave that right there. Someone will know what I mean. And I only pick on him because he's a good friend.
Chat, which Legend of Zelda game was your first? Mine was the original Legend of Zelda on the NES.
It's not easy.
I don't think I ever beat it until after I beat this one. We've got a lot of people saying Ocarina of Time, Zelda 2, Link's Awakening DX on the Game Boy.
Game Boy Color version.
Yeah, OG Zelda, Ocarina of Time. A lot of Ocarina of Time. Now, Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, guys? Which one do you think is better?
Majora's Mask. All day.
Oh, goodness. Sirelash says Ocarina of Time with Deagle, actually. Ocarina of Time, don't at you. Here we go for the boss battle.
So we're gonna get 0 to 15 blue balls. Well, there's one.
That's a lot of blue balls in one day.
There's 2. Alright, so we're not getting 15, so this is good.
No, chat, we don't want blue balls. No blue balls.
Alright, only 2 blue balls.
Can we get some hype in the chat for Deagle and the lack of blue balls today?
Two is pretty good to get in a run, actually.
And so now we're in the dark world, correct?
Right.
And do you do these in any specific order?
Yeah, so we definitely don't follow the intended order, because we want to get the more powerful sword as soon as possible. So we're going to go from Dungeon 1 in the Dark World to 4, 3, and then 5, 6, 2, 7. I got them all.
Now, when you're doing this casually, you can do them in any order?
Almost. There are some items, like this one, without any glitches, this one has to be, because you need the hammer to really move around the Dark World. But once you have the hammer, the only other thing that really restricts your movement is not being able to pick up the heavy rocks, which that glove is in Dungeon 4 here, our second one. So basically we aim to open up much of the Dark World as soon as possible to run.
Yeah, it looks like we have another donation, $5 from Nico Hart that says, "Go go Deagle, you're killing this."
I'm gonna make that bomb that I wasted earlier. This dungeon here is the first place we really extensively use the mirror in a dungeon, which warps us back out to the beginning. This dungeon's a lot of go get this thing, warp back to the start. Get this thing, warp back to the start.
And that's mostly just as a time saver, so that you can get over to the areas you need to be at without having to backtrack as much.
Yeah, but most of these will connect you back to an area on the right side of the dungeon through those stairs on the right there. But that takes way too long to go all the way over there and deal with all that. So, we just warp back. Save ourselves a few seconds.
And welcome on into the chat, PawsYourGame.org. As a reminder, all donations today for today and tomorrow's speedrun marathon is going towards Pause Your Game. We're already at $833.33 towards our $1,000 goal, and we're not even halfway through our speed runs for the first day. You guys are amazing.
Yep, incredible. We're so close already to what I think the goal is.
Yeah, we are. We're less than $200 away from our original goal. We're only $110 away from the Medieval 2019 donation incentive.
Oh yeah, you guys can meet that.
We can get this. And it looks like Bad Boy Daddy is still winning as the primary costume for Resident Evil 2 1998.
Arrows there? Yeah, I didn't explain the minor glitch I did back there. When I grabbed the hammer, so there's that collapsing bridge. And what the game intends you to do is go all the way up, to the right, down some stairs, down a long hallway to go get a key, and then come back and go through a maze in the dark. And we said, no, I don't really want to do that. And used a bomb to boost ourselves through a rail. Because ain't nobody got time for that.
Bada boom!
Not a perfect turtle room, but we didn't have a turtle party, so that's it.
What's a turtle party?
So those turtles hit you for a lot of damage, and you don't want to be hit. And if you mess up the room, they will hit you a lot. And that's what we call a turtle party. We want to avoid that, because we really want a lot of health for this one.
And now we're on the dungeon boss.
He's being quite aggressive today. This is actually my favorite boss in the game. The old Helmasaur King. But, oh man, if he wants to be mean, he can get really aggressive and spam attacks. He can also be really docile and basically not move. Obviously, the latter is better. But, yeah, this
and our
one...
first crystal.
Yep, first crystal. Yeah, so this is another example of the boss RNG. You know, his aggressiveness, basically.
I almost missed the boss. I looked away for a moment.
Yep.
And so now you said we're headed to dungeon number 3?
4.
4.
And then... Yep. But before we get to dungeon 4, we're gonna go on a treasure hunt after we bonk into that wall. So here's one of our big shopping trips, as we often call it here. We gotta go get a bunch of items, pieces of heart, other good stuff. Those pink guys hurt. They do 3 hearts of damage. Don't touch them. They're not friendly. Unlike dogs, especially rescue dog, by the way. I've only ever had ooh, this is Hundo. We need to go down here. Yeah, especially rescue dogs. They really have some of the biggest hearts. I've only ever had them. They're just the best friends. Okay, I didn't actually need to blow that up. That's habit from playing rando. Yeah, he really is. Such a great composer.
Speaking of Legend of Zelda music, what's everybody's favorite song from the Legend of Zelda franchise?
Gerudo Valley's pretty good. There's also in Twilight Princess, which has some of the most beautiful music in the series. There's a spot in the game where you have to go play hide and seek with a bunch of cats. That, I think, is my favorite music in the game. Maybe in the series.
Pause Your Game likes the Lost Woods.
Pretty good. Okay, here we go. How many digging games do we have to play?
Chat, how many digging games do you think we're gonna have to do? Six is my lucky number, but I really hope we don't have to do that many.
I hope not. 1. Wow. That's phenomenal, RNG.
Wow. Amazing.
I was not expecting 1. Nailed it. Now why can't I get that in like an actual PB attempt?
Because it's a marathon, it knows you're performing.
Right? Right. We can say hi to a guard we call Usain Bolt up here. It's the red guy. Because he moves extra fast. Dangerous to start a dash too early, because he will hit you.
Oh, hi, Gardo.
I completely forgot about the bottle. Let's go fix that.
Let's go get the bottle.
I was too excited to play the flute here for you guys, or the ocarina.
Real truth in chat, how many people actually own a blue ocarina? A blue or purple ocarina? I do.
I actually have a blue one on my shelf up here. Yep, we got the bird friend. Oh, I don't want to have.
Dan Spence, you're among friends. You don't have to plead the fifth. We're all gamer nerds in here.
We're giving that mushroom to the witch here. We can get some powder. Powder is great because it turns things into fairies. I'm just spamming the ocarina for the heck of it there.
Have you ever not had enough rupees in order to buy these on a speedrun?
Not that bottle. There's a big bomb I have to buy later that, I've accidentally not had enough rupees for before. That's a big oops when that happens. Almost done with the shopping trip here. Already on bombs. Alright, so I was saying there's two... I think I was saying there's two major points of RNG in this game, in this run. One of them was that digging game, which we got fantastic RNG on. Now the question is, how many times will we have to play the chest game?
Chat, how many times do you think we're gonna have to do the chest game? Let's see it with the poll. How many you guys think it's gonna happen?
And there's really no limit on how many times this could take. So
We've got a 1, 10, 17, 1 with marathon luck.
well, not one. Two.
We've got 2 down.
Okay.
At least you're getting some of your money back. There's 3.
Alright.
4. Have you ever run out of money trying to get this?
No. I haven't. Not that you can't. 5 tries. That's not too bad.
Alright, 5th try for the heart piece.
Now we do need some more money. I got an item. That boomerang that we didn't get earlier, I'm gonna go get that right now. So, if you grabbed the blue boomerang earlier, this is 300 rupees. Don't grab the blue boomerang, that's the red one. This is the better one.
Ooh. And that means you don't have to feed it to the fairy.
Yep, exactly.
Now, in this 100% run, do we have to go feed any items to the fairy to get them changed?
Not the same fairy as the red boomerang. You do have to go to the other fairy in the pyramid to get the gold sword and silver hair. Oh, and one thing we don't do in 100% is get capacity upgrades. There is a category, I think they call it 101 or 102%, something like that, where you do, but it's just a bunch of grinding rupees. So, we don't bother with that.
Now, are there any specific items you use for any of the bottles, or do you just contain it all with magic?
So optimally, you actually don't use anything in the bottles.
Oh, they're just for the completion part of the run.
Yep. I will be filling one of them with a fairy, because there's one strat that's pretty difficult to get right. There's a hallway full of spikes, and you do have like just enough health to do it if you can get dashes off during your invincibility frames. But I'm bad at that, so I just grab a fairy for extra comfort. We'll be getting right here, actually. If that guy will let me. Oh my god, he's pretty weird. Sometimes that red guy is just mean like that. Usually he hangs out at the bottom, but if he decides that he doesn't like you, that particular day, he starts walking right up the middle and spitting fire at you. Which is always good times.
So now we have the glove to be able to pick up the heavier rocks.
Yep.
And that's needed to make sure that we can open up just more area of the dark world.
Exactly.
Chat, what's your favorite of all of the Legend of Zelda items you can collect? I was always very partial to the hookshot.
That's because that's the best item in the series.
Though for some reason I do like the thing that makes the little blocks in this game. Rock's feather.
Pretty cool. Rock's feather's
the extended hookshot.
So that boss there, I wasn't saying it during the fight because I of course would have messed it up. But that fight's actually completely scripted. His motion, completely scripted. The fireball patterns, he shoots them in kind of a cycle of 5. The first 4 just go wherever his head is pointing. The last one actually aims at you, and then it repeats. But that fight, you can do the exact same way every single time. One of the few that's not RNG.
So we're picking up that gold so we have enough for the super bombs, correct?
Super bomb and the flipper. I actually need 30 more. A little bit we got some bad luck on the chest game there. So this frog here is going to help us get a better sword.
As long as you don't croak on your way there.
Yes. Hopefully that doesn't happen. The frog puns.
For these runs, are there very specific locations you warp back and forth at for the best line, or?
Yeah, there's best places to do it at. Like here, here you just want to make sure you can get in and out of that door, because you have to re-enter to set this off. But then you want to just be able to quickly get into your portal here. There's actually another strategy for setting portals as well that I don't really bother with. If you warp on specific X pixels, your warp is actually a slight bit faster. They call it a quick warp. It's not something, since I'm not like a 120 runner in any percent, I've really bothered trying to learn them yet. Much better use of effort. But 120 being that any percent times in the low 120s are the top tier times. And since I'm not really going for those, I haven't bothered with the high optimization strats yet.
And just to update the chat, we are a little over $166 away from our $1,000 goal. Not bad for day one, everybody. We're killing it with these donations. We have $110 to the Medieval 2019 incentive. And a little over 107, or a little under $170 until the Monster Hunter World incentive is met. We almost have every incentive met for the day. You guys are killing it.
We need these incentives in our lives. You guys are doing great. So much hype.
All proceeds benefit the Pause Your Game nonprofit animal advocacy group. Even $1 can go help a fluffy friend find a good forever home.
Oh, there's some hands.
Oh, we got our hands. Can we get some hands in chat? Oh, that was close.
Oh, yeah. He almost got hands.
Hands off my speedrunner.
Need a little bit more money. Here we go. The bomb jump. Call the handy.
Call the handyman.
Call Wallmasters Plumbing today. Sometimes that blue guy there will hit the bumper and bounce into the spike, and it's just really funny.
I've seen him do that several times while playing this.
I always enjoy the self-destruct enemies like that.
Though I always got really confused in this one on like where to go in the forest, because I always got lost on which entrance was the one I needed to be in at the right time. It's amazing watching you just fly through this.
This is another one of those dungeons that are just like, where do I go? Okay, good. So something that happens in the 1.0 version only is hands can grab you out of the hole if you haven't finished the animation yet for falling.
Don't blink, guys, or you moth miss this boss.
What boss?
The one you already got rid of.
Okay. I missed him?
I did. I missed him.
Yeah. So that boss also has some RNG to him. So the way that boss is coded is so normally if an enemy hits spikes, he'll take damage. So when the boss runs into the spikes, he takes that damage. Well, the way they coded him is just that any damage at that value is just negated. Which is kind of neat as a workaround. But it makes it annoying because if you accidentally hit him into the spike damage overrides your sword damage. And you therefore don't actually damage him. So you gotta be careful not to hit him into spikes. Otherwise you'll be in there hitting him forever and wondering why he's not done. is always good fun.
So would you say we're about halfway through this run, or a third of the way through this run?
A little over half, I think.
And now we're heading towards the water dungeon?
The next dungeon is the ice dungeon, actually.
Ice dungeon.
Which is in a lake. We've got to get our swimming devices.
Uh-huh.
Which, in the English version, they're translated as flippers. I think. What are they called in Japanese?
Chat says they ice to see you playing this game so quickly.
They're flippers that you put on your hand. I forget what they are actually called. Water mitts, maybe?
Water mitt. Chat. You guys need to cool off on all of these puns.
When we get to the boss, the next boss here, don't forget to say, I see you.
I see you.
Nice to be here. That guy was just blocking the path. He was like one of those, I don't know if you guys ever had to deal with the kids on the playground who would sit at the top of the slide and just not let anybody through. That's what that guy was doing. I missed.
Alright, in the ice dungeon.
Shiver. Me too, Dan. So great.
With all the frozen floors.
Yep. All the food. There's a new glitch that was discovered here, in that next room, called Icebreaker. Fortunately, we won't be doing it in this category, but I highly suggest you guys look it up. It's really cool.
And apparently somebody's wallet got a little slippery. We've got a $2.50 donation from Bakuda that says, "Love seeing so many people come together for a great cause." Also, damn does this game bring back memories though. I remember being a lot more lost on where to go.
Feel that. This dungeon here was one that took me a long time to beat as a kid. I could never figure out what to do. And I remember as a kid one day getting so mad at it that there's a statue, and I was like, you know what? Screw this stupid statue, I'm gonna pull your tongue out. Turns out the tongue is a switch. And you had to do exactly that.
This is dungeon 3?
5.
4? 5! Oh my goodness, can we get a $5 Ice Train donation going in chat?
Oh, this boss is spooky.
Because an ice train doesn't go choo-choo, it goes chill-chill.
a lot of health, but I'm gonna get these extra 2 hearts, because I don't like this at all. Fun fact, my split name for this dungeon is Run Ends Here. This is usually the boss that the runs die on. So
this is the dungeon killer. You'll do just fine. I believe in you.
I'm gonna go a little quiet for a minute here.
Alright, we're on the boss for this dungeon. Everybody's frozen in anticipation.
Okay, we're done.
And I looked away and we already beat it. I don't see you. You killed it so fast.
One of those eyes apparently missed a hit. I thought I was done and almost walked away. When that boss goes right, it's great. If he breaks out of that corner, it's a bad day. Because he hits for 4 hearts of damage. And we can't take too many of those.
Oh, we just received another $2 donation from Chad Thorson that says, "Nice to meet you, Batman. Maybe you should chill. I'll freeze you later. Let's get a donation train going with more ice puns."
All of the ice puns. So we're coming up to that spike hallway I was mentioning before.
Yeah.
Which is why we have a ferry. Get that super speed here. Yeah, hopefully you guys are having a good time here so far.
And we have another $2 donation from Nico Hart that says, "What did the man say after he slipped and fell on the ice? Nothing. He just gave everyone the cold shoulder." So is the death purposeful because you're just running through the spikes for the speed?
For me, yes. You can, like I was saying, if you can get off all of those dashes, when you have iframes, you can do it without a ferry. I have a hard time doing that, so I grabbed the ferry just in case. A little bit of safety. Okay. So
how many more icy
skulls,
puns can we get?
all of them. All of the ice. I need them all. Did you guys like the last eyeball boss? Do you like eyeballs in general? I know all you RE2 runners do. I see you, Chad. I see you.
Chad apparently had a really good ice pun, but it slipped his mind.
That's pretty good.
We do like eyeballs.
Here's a nice little minor glitch here. Block deletion. You spam the mirror outside of a dungeon only. Spam a mirror while pushing blocks, it just deletes them.
And that's not considered a major glitch?
Nope. So major glitches are things that basically allow you to sequence break around required items. Well, I should say around required items that you're not able to go get. Like the fake flipper we did earlier. Well, we didn't need the flippers to get to where we went as a result of it, but we were able to, at that point, you know, if we went and got 500 rupees, to purchase the flipper.
And it looks like we have another $2.50 donation from Dan Spence that says, "Here lies Sub-Zero. Now, Flame Zero. It's the only absolute." You guys are killing my soul with these icy puns.
Negative 273 Celsius. God, I hope I got that number right. Max can tell me if I got that right, I think. So here comes shooting items through blocks. $273. Nailed it. But he got cold feet. Alright, so we got our big key now. Sarah, you were talking about the cane that makes blocks?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite items. I don't know why, because it's just so, it seems so useless, but then when you start messing with it, kind of fun.
You know,
Also, I'm kind of a blockhead.
There's not many things you usually get the chance to do with it. But a lot of the new glitches in the game found within the last 2 years all rely on it, actually.
I did not know.
There's some really, really neat tricks you can pull off with it.
Now, versus an any percent versus no major glitches, what's about the time difference between the two?
I think in the neighborhood of like 20 minutes, usually. Assuming good RNG, somewhere around 20. Thankfully, we got some good RNG here, so hopefully we can keep around that estimate. So, for those of you who really like eyeballs,
I do.
Enjoy the next boss.
And it looks like we're $108 towards the medieval 2019 goal to go. Doing good, Dan Spence. Get ready. I always like this one. Eye puns. Iris, I thought of that one.
I wonder what that boss's weak point was.
No idea.
It's a good goal. Good goal, Jab. Worth. Yeah, so that boss there, it's another tricky one until you practice it a bit. The idea is that slime that's on the top half of the floor in that room, you damage boost off of it because it does 1 heart of damage to you. You take damage there to get iframes, to avoid the boss's 4 hearts of damage, and also unleash a bunch of spin attacks into it. And since you're in iframes, you can just walk like right into the mess of eyes up there and just spam away. It's pretty nice.
I can't believe those blocks just disappear with the mirror. I've never seen that. That's such an amazing trick.
Pretty good.
And it looks like we have about 75% of the items collected.
That's about that.
Maybe 2/3.
Oh, the cake. Yep. Somewhere around 2/3 to 75%, somewhere in that range.
Would you say this game is all about collecting all the items?
Of course. I definitely. Mirror bonk. Let's try that again.
And don't forget, after this run is over with, we did meet our incentive goal for the Super Mario World 11 Exit No Cape bonus run, being performed by Desert Eagle here.
I'd like to do that one for you guys. We got that one coming up tomorrow. It was originally planned to be right after that.
My mistake.
Oh, you're good. Figured it was a good idea to do that. Can't give you guys too much Super Nintendo excitement one day.
I know, it's so draining.
We got our chores done here, collected some more items. Time for boss here.
We have an amazing raid coming in from one of another amazing speedrunner, Moonrunes. Welcome on in, and your party from Moonrunes' stream. So this is what, Dungeon 7?
This one is Dungeon 2.
Technically
Finally going
Dungeon 2,
back.
but the 7th one we've done, right?
This will be the 6th crystal.
You have run through these so fast, my brain can't even keep up with it.
There's quite a bit of these here. Thankfully, a lot of them are pretty straightforward when you have done them 100 times and you know where to go. Now that, the last dungeon we did, which was Crystal 6, one with the eyeballs. That dungeon has so many unnecessary rooms, so many unnecessary keys. In fact, it has so many unnecessary items in it, or unnecessary keys, that in the glitched runs, we steal keys from that dungeon to use in other dungeons.
And again, welcome on in everybody that's just joined us right now. This is deserteagle417 running The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, 100%, because we met our donation goal. And it looks like we do have another donation, a $2.50 donation from Dan Spence that says, "These poor blocks, how can you look at yourself in the mirror?" Wait.
I look at myself in the mirror while doing it.
Our charity today is PawsYourGame, which is a nonprofit 501c animal advocacy group whose mission is to help raise awareness, funds, and other resources for both private and municipal animal shelters, rescues, and sanctuaries through video game marathons, streaming, and other events such as tournaments and LAN parties hosted by PawsYourGame. You can do !donate in the chat to take you to the Tiltify donation link. We still have some incentives that still need to be met. We have the Medieval 2019 Demoness arm percentage and the Monster Hunter World Tempered Ruiner Nergigante incentive, as well as a poll where you can change the costume for Resident Evil 2 1998 right now. Bad Boy Daddy is winning.
Pretty excited to see which one wins there. You know, I know Max is should be pretty excited about this donation incentive. I know he's not a big fan of Brad Vickers. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah. Can't wait to see these runs coming up here. That last run by Jewhorse was amazing to watch. Absolutely hilarious game that I now need to own.
You can just call it Nurgle. Should be a good incentive. I think, you guys, that we can make it.
I have not been able to hit that quick kill lately. Oh well.
I see you just smashed through another boss.
Yep, got that guy done. There's a really neat strat called Zero Cycle, since he doesn't get the chance to spin his puffs around him. Where you can kill that first phase super quick. Fortunately, it's not that easy. But I suggest looking it up. It's amazing. Oh man, I just realized we don't have any more eyeball bosses in the game.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
So sad. It was like such a big part of the game, and now it's gone. Coming up here to get piece of heart, and then our last of the 4 bottles. But we're right now on our last big shopping trip here. I cannot believe it. There's our 4th bottle.
So it's really close to getting all the items.
We'll have our full inventory before the next dungeon, actually. At least the Y items part of it. We'll have a couple more things to get.
Now, is everything else that we still need in the dark world, or do we have to go back to the light world to gain any items?
There's still a few things left in the light world here. But we'll actually be getting... the last item we get that's not in a dungeon is actually in the light world. Here's another fairy here. Wide-eye otter. That's pretty good. So we're getting our top tier sword here, the gold sword. If you are a fan of Rando, you'll probably have heard this called Butter Sword at some point. And we're gonna get our silver arrows.
Can we get some Butter Sword hype in the chat? I like this fairy. She's a thick girl.
Yep. Fairy.
And she brings the best items.
Paladine would be I kind of now want to start calling that fairy Paladine.
I feel like it could be an appropriate possible nickname.
Oh, here we're gonna get another one of our items to fill in those missing 2 slots. Here we got another that was too low. Yeah, we're not gonna move because we'll get kicked off the ledge. You don't want to go too high there, because if you teleport back too soon, you'll bonk on the way out. Suppose it didn't really matter. 18 of 20 hearts.
2 more heart pieces to go. And just over $150 to go until we meet our $1,000 goal for the entire charity. I feel like we can get that before the end of the night.
I think we can do it by the end of the next run. What about you guys, chat? We do it?
Chat, we still have some incentive goals to be met for Medieval 2019 and Monster Hunter World. As well as, I don't see much of a battle going on between the Resident Evil Leon costumes. Bad Boy Daddy is totally smashing it. Nobody wants Biker Daddy? Do we have any Biker Daddies in chat?
Get this apart. So that tree, we can only knock it down after we beat Aghanim, is the blue ball boss. I forgot to speak. We need our last item, actually. One last hole in the inventory. We're about to fill that up.
We're almost at all items. Missing what, 2 heart containers?
2 heart containers, so we'll get 1 from the next boss, 2 more heart pieces. And we need the top shield and top armor. That'll be it. Got a little trolled by the falling cabbages there. Or, that might actually be Booger Man flicking his boogers at us. One of our exciting runs coming up tomorrow.
Yes, if you've never seen Booger Man, tomorrow we'll be running, Dr. Maxermine will be running Booger Man, a pick and flick adventure. Any percentage, no item use. I hope you all root around for him.
Yo, final crystal dungeon. We hand-picked them. Did you have to dig deep for them?
Alright, final major dungeon. Here we go.
If those blue guys float around the question block, it's a little bit trolly because if they hit you there, they knock you completely off. Which is always lovely.
Wow, I've never seen that trick with the hook shot to get through the rolling pins like that.
Oh yeah. Iframe abuse is lovely in this game. You get some iframes while it's extending and retracting, so you can use that to avoid damage in a lot of places.
And for those of the viewers that don't know what iframes are, can you explain that?
Yeah, so the I in iframes doesn't stand for eye as an eyeball, but eye as in invisibility. So it's basically a set of time. Like if you see Link's character flashing, that's an example of iframes. Like I said, during the hookshot animation. And it's just a period of time where you can't take damage. So you can abuse that, so like if an enemy's about to run into you and you can't avoid it, you can use the hookshot to trigger some iframes. If you are stuck between two enemies, one that, say, might do more damage than the other, you can run into the weaker enemy, which will give you some invincibility frames, and that'll allow you to avoid damage from the stronger one. This is exactly what we did in that last boss, well, 2 bosses ago now, that had all of the eyeballs. We used the damage from the goo on the ground, because it only does 1 heart of damage, so that we could walk into the eyeballs and unleash our attacks, because they do 4 hearts. We'd really rather not get hit by that. A neat way to avoid damage, or in some games pass through barriers that you wouldn't otherwise be able to. Oh.
Now, does this work on the original cartridge versions?
For Link to the Past?
Yeah.
Yep, that's actually what I'm playing right now. So we're doing this on the Japanese 1.0 cartridge. Old Super Famicom. But the iframe stuff works in every version of the game. Nice. Get our last shield here. Got the shield.
It looks like we're just missing the last armor piece.
That's it, as far as the items are concerned. Enough. So what I did there was use those orange blocks on the floor. If they come up while you're standing on them, you'll get some iframes from them. So that's what I used to walk through the roller there. And then the second time, if you dash into a wall, you bonk over the roller. That's another way to avoid damage. A lot of places.
Always get bonked off by that red guy there.
Yeah, he's mean. That's why I set that block for him. Let him run into that and get bonked off. Alright, don't blink. Coming up to the last crystal boss here. This boss's name is Trinex. I'll give you one guess why.
Because he has 3 necks?
Oh, I thought it's because he has 3 toes. That makes a lot more sense.
And he's already defeated. This is amazing. Last crystal. Now we have to go get another heart container? Or piece of heart?
Yep. The last piece of heart from the light world. And then on to Ganon's Tower.
We're in the home stretch of this run.
Yep, this is it. Coming up to the very last dungeon.
Next up on our schedule is the Kim Possible Legend of the Monkey's Eye. And we did meet the donation incentive for that one, which is cutscene percentage, which will be run by Texan Red Wolf.
Here, these cutscenes are fantastic.
And I believe I was hearing that they're all the original voice actors in the video game from the TV show.
There it is, folks. 20 hearts.
All right. And we just need the last armor piece.
If anyone's wondering, the middle armor, which is the blue one, is back in Ice Palace. It's in the big chest in there.
Is that not considered part of the or the 100%?
Not the 100% one, because there we just need the top tier item in each slot in the menu. And since the red would overwrite the blue, we don't need to get it. Same thing with the shield. There is a tier 2 shield that we don't get for the same reason. But in that other category I mentioned, the 102%, or whatever we're calling it these days, that one you do get both of those. But yeah, as John Mock Cole said there, Trinex is kind of a pushover with... Ooh, that was almost bad. It's kind of a pushover with the tier 4 sword. Even the tier 3 sword, to be honest, he's not that tricky with. Now the tier 2 sword, on the other hand, that's not a fun fight. We're playing our warp pad game. Any of you playing the original Pokemon games, this is your training for Silphco. You get the warp pads all over the place.
Oh my goodness, you just like went past that warp pad. It's amazing. You're bumping and jumping across all of these areas.
We don't have time for the warps. Though if you do go on that warp pad, you get to see the petting zoo. There's a bunch of enemies in like isolated cage-looking things, which is really weird.
First mini boss of the dungeon.
Hopefully that guy looked familiar.
Where we're going, we don't need warps? Well then.
Yep. I agree. There it is. Nice big chest for it. That is our final item.
Can we get some hyperclaps, GGs, and love emotes in the chat for all items completed? or our donation incentive has been successfully completed in game.
So these mimics here, they copy your movement. So what I did there is I basically held myself to the wall, so I don't move, but since they respond to your D-pad, they still move. When you press on your D-pad, you can hold onto the wall and direct them around the room. So you just bring them out into the open where they're easy to hit, and take care of that.
Careful of those blue balls.
Okay, well, right. I think we usually call that room Ganon Ball Z, because it's Ganon's tower. Oh, come on. Really? We needed some Benny Hill theme right there.
This guy was not throwing you a bone.
Fortunately not. He was throwing them at me, but not to me. Oh my god. Being nice today. Ice physics, everyone's favorite physics. There we go. Remember
Next
that boss
mini
from
boss?
earlier?
Yep, second mini boss is down. Wow, that's the fastest I've seen that room completed.
Red cane is really awesome. Such an underrated item, I think. So many shenanigans you can get up to with it. Almost there.
Now, is there a certain number of like bombs or arrows you're gonna need for this last boss?
4 arrows. That's all I really need. I actually don't need any bombs. Ah. Alright, I had to go for it at least once.
Nice try.
It's so hard on this. Well, let's get our revenge on Mordor here. That's payback for earlier.
Third mini boss is down. Somebody in chat's actually asking if you can explain how you were doing that kind of airwalk trick skip.
So that one there, when you're dashing, there's a few frames before you actually fall. I forget how big the window is. It's like 2 or 3 frames, I think. And so the idea is you want to constantly press and release the dash button to keep entering the start of the dash phase there. Since again you don't fall for a few frames there. As long as you keep doing that, you can get a little bit of motion during the release, and repressing the dash button cancels the fall. So as long as you do that at the right rhythm, you can keep that going indefinitely, really. Hopefully that explanation made some kind of sense.
And it looks like that last boss didn't have a lot of blue balls either.
Nope. Thankfully, the clones of that last boss never give you blue balls. Just the real one. Oops.
And now we're on Ganondorf round 1.
This is... We actually, with those 6 slashes, we actually ended phase 2. This is phase 3.
Completely skipping a phase.
Oh, we did both phase 1 and 2. They were just over really quickly.
I blinked once again.
Phase 1, he throws his trident around. Phase 2 is the fire bats. Phase 3 is this one that we just did. And phase 4 is this warping one here. That we're 1/4 of the way done. Halfway. It's just not giving me good placement. And that's it.
Is that time?
When I go through this door.
Okay.
And time. And that's it. We have saved the day in Hyrule.
I'm still mind blown. Under 2 hours for 100% item completion. No major glitches. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Can we get some more GGs, hypes, hyperclaps, all your love emotes in chat?
Thank you guys so much.
You did such an amazing run, Desert Eagle. That was such a pleasure to watch. This is my favorite Legend of Zelda game, and you've sparked desire for me to slow run my way through this again.
I think you should definitely give it a go. If you're interested, try out the JP 1.0 version like this. So you can check out some of those neat glitches. Yeah, fun fact, this is a 1 and 8 second PB.
All right. Congratulations on a PB.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't know how much...
Eagle has another run coming up tomorrow. The Super Mario World run. Incentive is met for World 11 exit, no cape bonus run. I'm excited to watch that run.
That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of the Super Mario World, well, you don't really see it too much in 11 exit, but a lot of the game you just fly over levels. So we're going to take that out, so we actually have to play them. Then it becomes a lot more fun. I don't know how much time we have before the next run. If you guys have 3 minutes, we can beat the game again.
You could beat Legend of Zelda again?
Oh yeah. I don't know, you guys want to see how broken this game really is? I don't know if we have 3 minutes for that or if we're behind schedule.
I will let Dan or chat comment on that.
In 3 minutes.
If we've got a 3 minutes ability, Thoughtsy says go for it. We got the green light on that. All right, can we get some hypes in chats?
All right. So let us reset the credits here.
And let's see if we can get at least 3 donos.
Yeah.
3 donations in.
You know, I
In
probably should
under
have
3 minutes.
done a countdown there.
Oops, let's get that timer reset. It's already going, guys. Let's go. It's a go.
Close enough.
3 donations for the 3 minutes.
You do it.
Can we do it?
Alright, so what we're gonna do here is some really major glitches. So we're gonna use something that's called exploration glitch, which allows us to get underneath layers of the game, and therefore bypass all the obstacles the game set up for. So there is a faster way to do this than what I'm gonna do here. But it's not as easy. This one, any of you can do this, and show it off to your friends, impress them with how quickly you can beat the game. I think world record for this category is under 2 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so we jump off there, save and quit before we land, and that puts us in a glitched state. Now we need to be careful not to get hit by anything, because that'll trigger the glitch. We want to get hit in a certain place. So hopefully we don't mess that up. Okay. That green guard there is really scary for this. I was actually supposed to go up the other staircase, but that's fine. So now we're underneath the layer here, so we can basically freely roam around. Or almost freely. Not totally bad.
And it looks like we just got a $3.33 donation from AJ Shanks saying 3 minutes!
Almost there. So pretty soon we're gonna see Ganon's room.
Oh my goodness.
This room right here is actually underneath Ganon's room. And now we're in Ganon's room. Well, now we are. And that's time.
Wow.
So there we go. If you ever wanted to see this game end really quick, that's how you do it. So that's like a very major glitch in the game here.
Is that considered the any percentage?
The true any percent. That's this one here. Again, there's a faster way to do this. You clip into a river that's next to Link's house and do a bunch of shenanigans over there. That one's not as easy to do. This one, anyone can do it.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for showing us that.
There you go. So I just had to contrast the 100% and the basically no percent.
2 hours to 3 minutes.
Yep.
And thank you again to AJ Shanks for that $3.33 donation. Congratulations, Desert Eagle, on an amazing Legend of Zelda Link to the Past run.
Thank you guys for having me here. Thank you guys so much for meeting the 100% incentive. And I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the Kim Possible run coming up. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, well, next up on our list is Texan Red Wolf with Kim Possible, Legend of the Monkey Eye. We did meet the incentive donation goal to do cutscene percentage.